Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back to your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we are going to be talking about how to find 100x to 1000x gems before anyone is even talking about them. I'm pretty sure at this point in time, if you've been around crypto for a while and you know that every big influencer is talking about a certain project doing this, doing that, all over X, all over YouTube, all over every other platform, 9 times out of 10, they're looking for exit liquidity. We have been addressing a few trends to definitely watch for, and within those trends, you could find incredible projects that you have to do research on. At the end of the day, it's not going to be easy to find gems. It's going to take time. You need to research them. Remember, you're not going out and buying anything with your hard-earned cash just because you find that it could very well be this next big thing. No, you are going to look into it. You're going to research it. It's like buying anything. You want to make sure that you are buying the best of the best. Now, a few of those trends that we were addressing, even going all the way back to the beginning of 2023, was AI. AI, gaming, a lot of these big categories do see a ton of money flowing into them, especially during the bull run. Guess what? That is where massive gains come. The big thing to be aware of as well is market cap, right? When we're talking about 100x gems, we're not talking about Shiba Inu. Because again, market cap gets thrown out the window at times when people are talking about specific gains. You need to understand tokenomics, token releases, things like that. So make sure that you are 100% researching tokenomics before you even have a goal set on how much a token could possibly move. And also remember, holding a token to actually see the 100x gain is extremely high risk. Don't be left bag holding. Make sure that you are taking profits along the way, and always make sure to get that initial investment out when the time is right, because you never want to be left bag holding, especially hoping for a project to possibly return back to the area that you invested in at. That is never a good thing. So let's talk about it. How can we find the next 100x, next 1000x gem? Well, is it as easy as going to categories over on CoinMarketCap and looking through the big trends, like for example, AI, and going into the AI section down here and going to the top AI and big data tokens and then just selecting one of these and boom, it goes to a 100x? No, that's not how easy it is. Because for the most part, a lot of these tokens, we don't even know anything about them. We haven't done any research. We haven't even looked into them. When you find something that looks decent on here, you have to look into the team. You have to look into the viability of the use case. And you need to come to the conclusion on, could this be valuable? What is it solving? What is the problem, first off? And would this be something that you can see happening or becoming a major, thing that gets implemented into the real world? Because again, solving something in crypto is not that incredible. We need to make sure that it can morph into reality in the real world. So let's actually look into this. How can we actually find those gems? How can we actually find something that is worth investing? Because it's not just about market cap. It's not just going down the list and saying, hey, I think that this project could do a 100x because it has $10 million in market cap. No, it's not that simple. We need to look at trends. How can we find the trends before the trends are actually big trends? Well, there's a few great accounts to follow into this space. Like for example, Masari Crypto. Masari Crypto gives out incredible reports. And again, they're not paying me or anything like that. Trust me, they are not paying anyone. They have well over 300,000 plus followers for a reason. They put out great reports all the time. And it's usually quarter by quarter. Like for example, here's quarter 4. It witnessed an 81% surge in fundraising fueled by steady growth in early stage deals and notable spikes in Bitcoin miner deals. And again, this is where a lot of the money was flowing, but it doesn't give us an in-depth view on any trends. There is notable rounds on the right where we are seeing a lot of money going to specific players. And this is great, right? These are some projects that we can look into, address the market cap for it, address the team, the viability of what they're doing, things like that. And a lot of these you could actually see that it's either AI or it's yielding, it's wallet services, things like that. But also they put out reports like this, which did come out back in October. Again, we already knew that gaming was a big thing even from going all the way back to 2021. But we have gaming leads all consumer application funding in quarter three, $240 million raised across 33 deals, 67% capital raised across the consumer sector in quarter three as well. Now, these reports are great, right? They give us an in-depth view on what's gaining a lot of these major deals from either VCs or just funding in itself. This is a great thing to look at. These reports are incredible. And again, Masari Crypto is definitely an account that you want to follow and possibly even turn notifications on to get these reports when they come out. They also have an enterprise and also a pro package on their website, but I really don't think that we need to pay for this information. You could find a lot of this information for free, utilizing specific websites, VC Deal Flow, and even DeFi Llama. Now, both of these links are going to be at the top of the description. This one is crypto-funding.info/dealflow. And this is all of the VC money flowing into crypto. Now, you could actually go through the categories and find ones that are seeing a lot of money flowing into them. Again, it's not as easy as most people make it out to be. To find gems, it's extremely challenging. It requires a ton of research. I always say it like this, right? Your investment, the money that you're putting in, that's the only worth that it has. The second that you invest money, though, you could basically write that off because it is not a guarantee that you're going to make money. You can lose money just as fast as you can make money in the space. What sets you apart from losing money and what sets you apart from gaining money is the time that you are investing into research. Why am I bringing this up? Well, because if you are investing because somebody's telling you, hey, this project can do 100x or 1000x, you are already failing. You need to make sure that you are putting your money into something that you put a ton of research in. Nobody likes to spend hours on end researching a project, but guess what? When you put that time in, you can find things that no one is talking about. And then guess what? When your favorite influencer or, the large YouTubers in crypto are talking about that project and all of a sudden it's doing a 10, 20, 30, 40, 50x return, well, guess what? Is that time that you spent researching worth it? I can guarantee you that you are going to come to the conclusion and say, now I see the value behind researching. It also allows you to have confidence in your investment, meaning you're not going to be impulsively buying and selling, other tokens because you're scared that it went down 10%. You already know the team, you already know the viability of the use case, you already know that it's a quality project, so and so, right? But let's actually talk about this. Now, you can go to Tradable and find the tokens that are actually tradable on here as well. And you can look through this. I also like to just look at all because again, what we can do is find projects that are going to launch that have a significant backing. That way we can gauge on how undervalued the project is. And what do I mean by that? What if something has a $35 million raised fund, for an example, and it comes out at a market cap of roughly $3 million? That means that the funding is well over 10x above what the market cap actually is, which means that project is technically undervalued with what they have in funding. Outside of that, categories. So when we are looking at the most recent dates, and by the way, this goes all the way back to 2013, for an example, we are looking at the most recent dates on here. And you can click here and look through this. You can go all the way back to 2013, see how much money was raised around some projects, so and so. Again, we're mainly looking at the most recent raises. Remember that not everything that VCs touch turns to gold. VCs were pumping Luna, they were pumping FTX, and guess what? We both know how both of those resulted. Within this, we want to look at the most recent ones that are seeing money pouring into them. And the big thing to focus on here is project category, because this is what is going to allow you to go over to CoinMarketCap, go under the categories and find extremely undervalued projects. And you can look on VC Deal Flow or DeFi Llama and possibly find those projects that do have funding. But this also allows you to find projects that VCs are interested in and could very well pump those projects heavily, because again, they're not putting money into anything that's not going to move or possibly make them money. So if we scroll down, we can actually see a few of the categories. AI, you are going to find AI on here so often because AI, like I said, is going to be a trend that only continues to grow. Also, when we look at a few trends, and I'm just going to give you guys this. This is free. I'm not selling you on anything. A category that I personally have been looking at heavily is identity. Identity has become a hot topic in the space for a little bit of time. Now, currently speaking, there's not a ton of projects within this that are getting a ton of funding just yet, but I do think that this is going to be one to definitely focus on. And let me refresh this because I think that the tradable, let me go to tradable, yes. Let me go to tradable, no, just to kind of see some of the most recent ones. It's going to go to all. So here are some of the most notable recent raises around identity. So we can see January 2024, December 2023. Again, there was 3 raises in December of 2023. November, seen about roughly 4, and then October also seen quite a bit of them as well. Now, the big thing to focus on here is you want to look into these categories and see the viability of it. We know that they're trying to push digital identity, so it makes sense that identity is getting a lot of raising right now. And I feel as though this is going to be a major topic to focus on. It could still very well be too early for identity services to be a big hit, but I still think that this is going to be one to focus on. Also, AI, we can go under AI and see where a lot of money's coming from. AI is one of the hottest topics, as you guys are aware, on this list. I mean, in January alone, there was over 6 raises that happened. And you can look at some of these, like for an example, like Tada. I'm pretty sure that this is one that I've been researching because it looks solid. And like I said, this is something that you want to look into because if you click on these projects, you can see the website and the community, you can see everything. For an example, if we go to their website, this is what you want to look at. Does the project have a decent UI? Does it have a UI that from the Web 2 space, you could see users coming over and utilizing it? Also, does it have statistics like, for example, beta users, completed task in 24 hours? Like these are statistics about the platform that are showing you, hey, guess what? There's a decent amount of demand around this project. You could also look at the case studies, the use cases, what's happening over on socials. Do they have a prominent community? Do they have an office location that you can look up? All of this is stuff that you can find just by doing basic research. But you want to dive deeper. You want to look at the tokenomics. Is there major wallets holding a large percentage of the supply? Things like that. Now, again, I don't know if this one is tradable. You can go on to this platform and go to tradable, for example, and hit yes. This will give you all of the most recent ones that are seeing a lot of money flowing in that are tradable. But again, I like to go through all. It's very glitchy sometimes. You have to kind of go to no and then all. But I like to add some of these projects to my watch list or keep a close eye out on them or even follow their Twitter to see when they are going to launch the actual token. And that's when we really look at it and wait and be patient for it to hit a significant low. But that is VC deal flow. Again, there's a lot on here that you can look through. There's so many damn categories. Again, you kind of want to find stuff that not a lot of people are talking about. And if they are talking about it, you want to go into the categories here and find a project that has decent funding, has a decent platform, it has a great team behind it, it has experience within the space. Again, I know that a lot of people hype up, oh, they're coming from Microsoft. Okay, what did they do at Microsoft? Were they working in anything around tech, where they just like, because a lot of these positions that they come from, it doesn't have anything to do with crypto or technology. It's just like an intern, for an example, right? So you want to make sure that you are looking at their background. Do they have a notable tech background? Do they have experience that is solid for crypto? And are they going to actually help and benefit the project? But also DeFi Llama. So DeFi Llama, the main thing that I look at over here is they do have raises, right? So for an example, if you go under, not DeFi, but under raises over here, and you go to overview, this is where you could see the total funding rounds, the total amount that was funded. And like I said, this is the dates, right? Like this is the most notable and the most recent dates and projects that did get funding. Now, again, not all of these are going to be great projects. That's the number one thing to keep in mind. What you want to look at is the categories. And you can actually look at this by going up here to the sector, and you can look at AI, you can look at gaming. Again, if you guys didn't watch my recent videos, it's okay. Some of the categories that I'm personally looking at, for example, here's digital identity. Digital identity, if we clear this and we type or we click digital identity, you can actually see that this is starting to get some funding in. It's not significant yet, but I still think that this could be one to watch for the future. Not right now, because again, it's not having a ton of money flowing in. AI, again, this doesn't really have most recent, like up-to-date ones like VC deal flow. That's why I do like VC deal flow a little bit more than DeFi Llama, but it's definitely one to look at. But you could go through here and select AI. Gaming has well over a massive amount of funding and time, but also we could see some of the most recent ones around gaming. You could also look at the chains. Is it on a chain that is seeing a lot of money flowing into it? Like for an example, I know Base just recently launched. It has a ton of interest in it. Could definitely be one to look at. But also there's a few other ones I'm trying to look through. So here's real world assets. Again, this is one that's gaining a lot of momentum in the space. And there's a few other ones, but I don't know if they actually have them on here. I'm not really seeing them, but these are the main ones I'm really looking at currently speaking. But you can go through this and do it yourself. But these are the big ones, and we can see all of the most recent amounts raised. We could also see the round, the description, the lead investors as well. And again, the lead investor does matter. You kind of want to look at who are the players that are actually doing investing. Like for an example, A16Z, they are a big player, and they're not here to mess around. Like they're actually throwing large amounts of money out there. Like for an example, this was a $33 million seed round, and this is an on-chain game studio, proof of play. So that's definitely one to look at because of the amount actually raised. And here's another one, right? Ritual, $25 million raised, which is significant. And if you want to, you can go over here and you can actually look at those big players. But also if we go to category all, and we could actually look at some of the most recent ones. Like for example, I thought Ritual was going to be here, but I think it might be on page 2. But either way, if we really look over here, we could find and compare both platforms and see how much money is actually going into them. But you could also go into the investors tab here. You could also go to the investors tab over here on DeFi Llama, and you could find like for an example, A16Z. They are a big player. Like their median amount invested is $25 million. They are an absolute giant. They have over 57 deals. Like this is a player that has capital to throw around, just to say the least. But even over here, number one on this platform is Coinbase Ventures with over 242 projects. A16Z is number 3 with 166. Like I said, both platforms are a little bit different. They don't include, like for an example, DeFi Llama doesn't include all of the projects that did get seed rounds or investment rounds. Again, that's why I like crypto fundraising a little bit more than DeFi Llama, which again, both of them will be down in the description. I think that you could utilize both of them. They are great platforms nonetheless, and they're free. That's the best part about this. But also, you could utilize Google Trends, which I feel as though Google Trends is overlooked. I don't understand why it's overlooked. I feel like this is a big one to focus on. You could find some great narratives. The best thing to do is if there's a topic that's getting talked about quite a bit over on X, not specifically in crypto, the AI discussions. There has been AI discussions way before 2023. If you look something up and say for so it's AI crypto, and you're starting to see things like this, where it's starting to be a big topic. In January, we witnessed a big inflow of searches for AI crypto. I don't think I need to tell you that AI crypto during this time was starting to wake up. In February, we've seen AI crypto explode in value. And even right now, this is having a slight pullback, but I personally believe that this is only going to continue to be a much larger trend going into this next cycle. But this gauges the interest from the retail side. Gaming crypto not yet had that massive spike to the upside like it had back in 2021. Again, this shows you that the retail flood is not back into the gaming sector just yet, but I do believe that they will come back. Last but not least, real world assets for crypto. This just recently hit a high in the beginning of December and the end of November. Why is this? TVL categories. This is what I like to utilize DeFi Llama for. I don't really utilize DeFi Llama for looking into funding. I like to look at it for TVL. And the reason why is because this could allow you to find where a lot of money is actually pouring into. SocialFi, they're not seeing a ton of money flowing in, but I still think that this is going to be a big trend. If we go to the top, we can see RWA, real world assets. This has well over $5 and almost $500 million in it. Mind you, gaming. We know how big gaming is, right? Let's clear the categories real quick. Let's go to gaming. This is how big gaming was back in 2021. It topped out at around roughly almost $3 billion. Now let's look at RWA. This is how massive real world assets have become. And we know that this trend is huge because the mainstream media has been pushing it. Larry Fink from BlackRock saying that tokenization is going to transcend every single market. And it's going to, be the next big thing for the next generation of equities. Tokenization is one of the hottest topics in the space. Focus on it. I'm pretty sure you could even find this over on crypto fundraising by going all the way down to the bottom and looking at, real world assets right here. All right. And this is where funding is. Now, again, there's not a ton of funding flowing into this space just yet. But I'm telling you right now, I personally believe that this is going to be one of the largest areas of interest for crypto in 2024, because we are already witnessing this in terms of searches at an all-time high, and the money flow does not lie. This has overshadowed gaming already in a bear market, mind you, when gaming was at the top in a bull market. This just shows you how much money there is behind real world assets. And this doesn't even include every single chain. And I know that for a fact because Hedera and even Stellar is not on here. And Stellar and Hedera alone account for billions of dollars as well. So with that in mind, I hope that gave you a little bit of an insight on how to find gems. Again, you want to make sure that you are going as deep as possible on research. Again, money is not to be played with. If somebody's telling you about a project and you're just blindly aping into it, you're probably going to lose your money. You need to make sure that you are doing as much research as possible. I spend hours on end finding gems. It's the number one thing that takes a lot of my time away from every other thing in the space. Because when I'm investing, I want to make sure that I can either, one, trust the project, trust the team, and see the value behind the project. Spend as much time as possible on investing into research. The investing part will go smooth, and I can almost guarantee you that you'll sleep soundly at night, not worrying about if it's a rug pull or not. Again, this is not financial advice, but this could definitely help you along the way. There's a ton of tools out there that are free. You don't need to utilize anything that's paid for. Some of these platforms like Messari, though, they are doing incredible things. They do provide you with a lot more up-to-date information. But again, these are free platforms and there's a lot of information on them that gives you so much insight. Even Google Trends is so overlooked. I really do think that everyone needs to be utilizing all three of these. Again, mix in Messari's Twitter account because they have been giving out gems for a very long time. They are a great one to follow and have notifications on if you haven't already. Sentiment is also another great one. Even Dune Analytics. These are some great platforms and they have been growing greatly in the past and even just recently. So focus on them. Again, they have the followers that they have the platform that they have because they are extremely high quality in what they are putting out. So with that in mind, all of the links will be at the top of the description below. If you guys did enjoy the video, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on because more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. And with that being said, guys, it's been Nick. Peace out.